Hey there, and welcome to the Reflux Revolution podcast. I'm Molly Pelletier, registered dietitian, leader in nutrition for reflux, GERD, LPR, and the founder of Flora Nutrition. Also, a former GERD sufferer for over a decade. I have been where you are. After years of suffering with reflux symptoms and feeling overwhelmed by conflicting advice, I made it my mission to help you find real, long-lasting relief. So in this podcast, we are cutting through the noise, providing practical, evidence-based strategies, and giving you the tools to understand and manage your reflux with confidence. Before we dive in, quick disclaimer, the information shared in this podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical condition, and it should not replace personalized medical advice from your physician or individualized medical nutrition therapy from a dietitian. Your body is unique and your care should be too. Today's topic is how IBS and acid reflux overlap and how to manage both of them together. I see this every single day in my practice. I want to start by telling you about a client named Emma. Emma came to me feeling defeated. She had been diagnosed with IBS years ago, dealing with constipation, bloating, food sensitivities, FODMAP sensitivities, you name it. But recently, acid reflux had joined the party for Emma. She had burning in her chest, sore throat, regurgitation after meals, lots of mucus, coughing. The treatments she was offered felt like a game of whack-a-mole. One symptom would calm down and then another would just sort of flare up. So if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is the place so many of our clients come to us in. So what we did is we took a step back and we looked at the whole picture. And it became really clear. Her gut and her esophagus were actually talking to each other. She didn't have two separate issues. She had one system that was totally dysregulated. And this shift changed everything in the way that we helped Emma with her treatment plan. So let's break it down. Why do we see IBS and acid reflux so often together? The short answer is because they are both part of your gut-brain axis. Both IBS and reflux can be worsened by stress, slow motility, and even food sensitivities. In fact, studies show that up to 79% of people with IBS also experience reflux symptoms. That's a huge overlap, and it tells us that if you're just managing one without addressing the other, you might be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. So what's happening in the body? Let's talk about the mechanics of it all for a minute. So IBS often involves some sort of dysmotility or dysregulation of motility. And motility is how fast things move from your mouth through the whole entire digestive system. So sometimes we have too quick motility, diarrhea, or too slow, which can result in constipation, or maybe flip-flopping of both. Reflux, especially GERD and LPR, also often involves delayed gastric emptying or an increase in abdominal pressure from constipation or delayed stomach emptying. So there's a big connection we can see here. So imagine this. If you're constipated, your belly feels bloated, your digestion is slow, there's this pressure imbalance that's putting pressure on your stomach and that lower esophageal sphincter, which is supposed to keep contents in your stomach and prevent reflux. This is why managing constipation and motility in IBS can drastically reduce reflux symptoms. So what can you do about it? Let me walk you through 3 strategies that I use with my clients who are navigating both reflux and IBS. Number 1 is strategically balancing your fiber. You've probably heard this, eat more fiber, but that is sometimes not that helpful. If you have a massive backup of stool or you have all these food sensitivities, it's really hard to increase fiber. And sometimes we need to really make sure we are increasing the right kinds of fiber and we have the right balance of fiber in your diet. So too much insoluble fiber, think raw kale, bran, popcorn. This can be harsh on IBS and may trigger bloating or reflux. And I'm not saying these foods are bad. I love these foods. We just have to be mindful of the ratio of insoluble fiber in our diet, because if we have too much of it, it can cause symptoms, but too little fiber can slow motility. So we want to aim for gentle, soluble fiber like oats, soaked chia seeds, cooked carrots, soft melon, or even peeled apples to start with. If constipation is part of your pattern, Magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide in the evening can also really help support gentle regularity so that we can have consistent, complete bowel movements. That's so important when it comes to reflux prevention. With any supplement, always check with your healthcare provider and start slow and increase as tolerated. The second strategy that I want to share with you is a focus on meal timing and size. When you are dealing with IBS and reflux, we're often thinking so intensely about the types of food that we're eating that we totally forget about meal timing and meal size. So both IBS and reflux respond really well to consistency. That's why I always say consistency is the secret sauce. Consistent meal patterns, your body loves this rhythm and routine. So skipping meals, fasting, intermittent fasting, eating too much at once, all of this can stress your digestion and really throw your gut off track. So for both IBS and reflux, this simple strategy of just eating every 3 to 4 hours while you're awake to keep your GI tract calm and your motility moving is a great strategy. Eating within an hour of waking up as well to start that process is a great strategy. Keep your meals in moderate portion sizes. So you want to think about smaller, more frequent meals versus like 2 large meals. That's a lot of stress on your digestive system, especially if you're dealing with IBS. And then don't lie down for 2 to 3 hours after your meals. This is a major tip for reflux. Ideally, we're having dinner about 3 hours before we lay down. And then you might want to invite a little bit of gentle movement into your post-meal routine. If you have time, go out for a quick 5-minute walk. Walking or even diaphragmatic breathing, that movement of diaphragmatic breathing after a meal. These are 2 free strategies that are both evidence-based. They both have research behind them to help support you in preventing IBS and reflux. So doing a quick walk, 5 to 10 diaphragmatic breaths, I really encourage you to start that this week. Tip number 3 is regulating your nervous system. Remember my client Emma, her biggest breakthrough came when we focused on her nervous system. She started each meal with a 1-minute breathing exercise for the first couple weeks of working together. And this really helped to shift Emma into the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. We need to be more in the parasympathetic side of the nervous system to really digest our food well. And that is where the rest and digest response is, where your digestive juices are produced, your motility works well. So deep breathing before or after a meal can really help with that digestive process and shift you into parasympathetic. So just 1 minute before her meals, within weeks, her bloating had decreased. Within a month, she was off a roller coaster of reflux flares because she was now living in a state of parasympathetic versus sympathetic. So bottom line, our gut and brain are in constant communication. If your body thinks it's in fight or flight mode, your digestion will literally slow down or even shut off. Our body's like, digestion, not that important. And so the fastest way to support both IBS and reflux is actually sending more safety signals to your body. Signaling safety with deep breathing, with doing things you love, connecting with friends and family is highly important in an IBS and reflux healing journey. So try this simple practice tonight. Just inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 6 counts. So that long exhale breath, making your exhale longer than the inhale, is massively important. Do this for a minute. Just do this for a minute. Or do it after your meals, before bed, whenever you feel symptoms creeping in. I've had so many clients just this week tell me how this has radically helped them with their IBS and reflux. Okay, so putting it all together, managing reflux and IBS isn't about restriction. It's about restoring rhythm to your gut. That means gentle fiber, a balance of the right types of fiber, regular, consistent meals, slowing down, regulating your nervous system, and tuning into your body's signals of hunger and fullness. If you're listening and thinking, this is me, I'm dealing with both of these issues, I totally see you. And I want you to know that you don't have to untangle this alone. This is exactly what our one-on-one sessions are for at Flora Nutrition. We give you a roadmap to help you understand the best way to eat and fuel and nourish your body and the best supplement strategy, nervous system strategy to help you feel your best. We create a personalized roadmap based on your symptoms, your medical history, and your lifestyle, and then we're there for you every step of the way. So if you want to learn more about those, the link is down below in the description of this video. If today's episode resonated with you, be sure to hit follow, subscribe, leave us a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I try to respond to each and every single one. Share this with a friend. It really helps to support this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into the Reflux Revolution podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.